Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about OET and how to crack OET exams module by module and what are the tips and tricks to be very successful passing the exam, all that. Before that, let's know what is OET. OET is nothing but Occupational English Test for medical professionals. Okay, it is meant only for the medical professionals. Unlike IELTS, IELTS can be taken by anybody. OET can be taken only by medical professionals like doctors, physiotherapists, dentists, nurses, okay, occupational therapists, or any other. There are some 9 category of people who come under this. And why OET? OET is recommended for NMC and the GMC registration. So it is considered to be an easier test than IELTS exam, but it is still, it requires a lot of practice to achieve the passing grade. Because the passing grade in listening, speaking, reading, writing, that is B. But when it comes to writing, it is actually C+. Let's talk about the 4 sections or 4 modules of OET examination. Number 1, OET listening. What will you have in OET listening? See, in OET listening, you will be played a number of audio recordings from hospital or clinic setup. So you'll be expected to listen to the recording once only and answer some questions. See, there are so many questions. I'll be dealing about it in the video in detail. Okay, let's move on to OET reading. In OET reading, you will be given some healthcare academic texts to read and be asked to answer some questions based on what you have read. So you don't have to think anything outside the box. Everything is from the given question paper, given reading task. So you will be expected to answer only that. Let's move on to the other 2 modules. Okay, they are writing and speaking. Let me tell you about writing. In writing, OET writing, you will be given some case notes about a patient you've been caring for, and you will be required to write a letter to another healthcare professional to explain what has happened to them. It could be of any category. Okay, this is generally letter writing. Okay, for example, it can be a recommendation letter, it can be a transfer letter, it can be a discharge letter, it can be a referral letter, it can be an information providing letter, or it can be a requisition letter, explanation letter, anything could be. So you have around 45 minutes to write the test, actually. All right. So let's move on to the last but not least. The last part of OET is speaking. You will play the part of a nurse or a doctor, and you will be expected to have a conversation with an examiner, answering their questions and giving medical consultation. This is more of like actually what to say, role play. You will play a role of a nurse and the interlocutor, the so-called examiner, but he or she is not an examiner, interlocutor. They'll play the role of you, and they will record your speaking session, and your speaking will be assessed by another examiner. So there will be an interlocutor. For example, you get a card. Okay, there are 2 different actually there are 2 different ones are available. So you will be giving 2 mock role plays. So this is the setup, and when it comes to detail, I'll just tell you about all those things. Okay, let's move on to OET listening specifically. Okay, and in OET listening, you will have this listening around 40 to 50 minutes listening. Depends on the kind of text they take it for listening. So you don't have to worry about the timing, because It's not your problem. You will have to worry about the number of questions. See, there will be 42 questions. 42 questions, and you may have to answer all these things. So where, when, and where, and the questions are taken. Generally, this is from a hospital setup. They take listening as a part of the medical setup. See, for example, there is a case study or there is a discussion between a patient and the doctor. You'll be listening to that, and a series of listenings will be there. You will be listening and filling up the answers. What are the different types of questions they may ask you? See, fill in the blanks. Very general category of listening is fill in the blank. So you may be asked to write about the name of a patient or name of the medication or tablet or the treatment provided, anything. You may have to follow the reading, you may have to follow the listening question, read that in the booklet given, and whenever the audio is played, you will be listening and answering. And one thing you have to keep in mind that you will not be able to repeat the listening again. You will hear only one time. So you should be very, very careful. If you miss an answer, what should you do? Absolutely nothing. Leave it, go for the next question. For example, you scored, you actually had written the answers for 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, you don't know. But the audio is playing. When it goes for the sixth question, you shouldn't be worried about the fifth one. So what are you supposed to think is that think of the particular question and answer it. Whichever the questions you are unable to answer, leave it. And let me just show you how the questions would be. This is how these questions would be. Listen, okay, and you will have, see, part A, right? Listening, part A, there will be actually 12 questions. Okay, and you have to hear and look at the notes for extract one and then just go ahead. This is how you will be given. And the questions are like this. Look at it. Okay, has had diabetes mellitus. Andrew Taylor has had diabetes mellitus. You have to write it there. See, I'm not giving the exact answer. I'm just giving a very random answer. Has okay. Next question. Reports frequent nausea, frequent sleeplessness, frequent urination. Anything it could be. And this is how you have to. The audio will be played, and you have to listen to it and then go for it. And there are 12 questions here. Okay, part A. Now you will have part B. Part B is more of like choosing the best answer. See, there will be an audio played, and you have to look at these options. Read the question first before you start the listening. Read the question, understand the question, and one thing you have to do is marking the keywords. Underline, mark the keywords so that you will be able to actually answer it better when it comes to your listening answer. So this is how these questions will be, and each audio they'll have separate audio for separate questions you may have to answer. This is how they do it specifically. And you will have around what to say, you have 13 to 30 questions. Okay, so these are you are supposed to answer them. And part C, this is also choose the best answer. Okay, and there will be questions from 31 to 42. So you have to just listen to the audio and answer. Only two different types of questions, fill in the blank and choose the best answer. You must be lucky enough actually. When you just look at IELTS listening, you have different types of questions. Fill in the blank, true or false, match the following, match the heading, all that will be there. But here you have only two different varieties of questions and you have to answer. You may ask, is spelling a problem? It's not a problem if you can closely write the pronunciation of a word. Okay, so that will be given marks. You don't have to worry about the spelling because since it is medical professional, medical profession related, so they don't check or they don't test your knowledge on this. So spelling is not a problem, and the grammar is not a problem. For example, sometimes it is sutures plural form, but you write suture, that's not a problem. They accept it. And also some of the abbreviations, for example, ECG is a short form of the test, right? So you will be given mark for that, no problem, absolutely. So these are the things. And making notes and uh, looking for the keyword, searching for the keyword, listening carefully, or the skill sets you require. So anyhow, thank you very much, all the best.